Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Frontier Patriot. I'm Ron Rayfield, and this is Justine Dorn.
And Mishmish.
Today, I let the fire go out, and as you can see, my breath, it's a little chilly in here, but I got her blazing now, so we'll be warming up. So what do we got today?
Today, we have, for me, a shrimp pie from American Cookery, published in 1823. And as you guys can probably guess, if you know anything about this gentleman sitting right next to me, he is refusing to eat it. So for Ron, he has bread
and water.
Woo, bread and water. Because he hates seafood. He will not eat seafood. Okay, so I thought this was going to be disgusting.
It is disgusting.
I really thought it was going to be disgusting. So on Facebook, there's this group called Historic Cookery. And I posted this receipt to that group because I thought it was going to taste disgusting. So I asked people's opinions, and they said, well, I don't know, try it out. It might not be that bad. And guess what? They were right. It's actually really, really good. It's really good. I'm surprised how good it is. It's one of the best things I've made on this channel. I'm serious. It's that good. But I do like seafood.
I'll take your word for it and just say okay, but...
It's buttery. It doesn't have modern seasoning, so you might think it would be super bland and not good.
I mean, it's pretty, but it doesn't smell very good.
I mean, I taste the buttery, the flaky crust, and the salt, and to me that's enough. It's good. It's really good. And by the way, guys, yes, I'm still alive. I was dreadfully sick for the last week.
Thank you for all the well-wishing, by the way.
But I'm still here. You can't kill me that easily.
She's a tough one.
I'm a warrior.
She's tough. All right,
yeah.
Well, you want me to serve you up another piece?
I do. I really want to eat this. You know, it's funny because not even Mishmish wanted it.
Yeah, we both don't like shrimp.
Apparently, but I want it. Yum, yum, yum.
Nastiness. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
The colors are pretty, but it doesn't smell good.
Shrimp pie, everyone, from 1823. American receipt.
And if you want to see Justine make this pie, please go over to Early American. That is our main channel over there. We cook it.
And here we eat it, which I'm about to do.
Well, it's your turn to say the blessing.
Okay, before Ron eats his bread. Dear Lord, thank you for this food we have today. Thank you for everyone who's watching and joining us for supper. I want everyone watching to have good health for them and their families. May this food nourish our bodies. Thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, Mishmish, I gotta eat now.
It's so good.
It's bread. But it's really good bread.
I love
sourdough. Mmm. Shrimpy. Shrimpy. It's good.
The whole cabin stinks right now.
It's actually really good.
It smells like cat food.
Don't make me lose my appetite now.
Well, I'm trying to hold on to mine. See, even the cat don't want it. He's just like, meh.
Nah.
Good boy.
He's on Ron's side.
Come here. You want some bread? Want some normal food?
Don't give the cat bread, silly. That's good.
Well, hey, real quick. Thank you, everybody that watched the skills video that went out this past Wednesday on how to throw a tomahawk. I kept it short, sweet, and simple. And if you follow the rules, it'll take you a few practice tries, but you'll eventually get it. And once you get it, you find that sweet spot. And it's actually pretty fun. And it's fun if you got two of them. You and a buddy can do it, see who's the best, get bragging rights. They used to play a game. I forget the name of it, but they would tie a string across it. Was one of them. You'd have to try to cut the string. There was another one, they put a card on there. You can cut the card. I think it's if you can cut off either the largest piece of it or the smallest piece, something like that.
It's a fun sport.
Yeah. So a few people commented, well, you wouldn't throw your weapon.
We know that.
Naturally not, but
it's a sport.
There could be some situation, some guy did those tomahawk at somebody, kill somebody. But they did it on the frontier back then, mostly for competition, for sporting, for pastime. You know, like horseshoes. Horseshoes have been around forever too. They had horseshoes back then. I don't have any to show you, but that was just another game that they'd play.
Cool.
They throw knives too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how would they have gotten shrimp up here in St. Genevieve?
Right. Right.
That is the question.
That everybody's thinking, but has no answer to.
So shrimp would have been preserved in a brine and then shipped up the Mississippi River in order to get up here. So it would have been preserved in a salty brine. Sorry guys, my lungs are still pretty bad, but they're way better than they were. And so the receipt even says, if it's salty, don't add anchovies. It's implying don't add anchovies. It's kind of hard to read the recipe. I had to stare at it for a really long time to figure it out. But it's saying, if it's salty, do not add anchovies. Which makes sense, because the anchovies back then, too, would have been preserved in salt.
Come on.
Thanks. And so they don't want salt on top of more salt. So it was very common practice to ship very salty meats and seafoods back then, if you didn't live in an area where you could get it fresh, or a time of the year where you could get it fresh.
Now we had freshwater fish here in St. Genevieve.
Oh yeah, they found a ton of fish bones outside of the 18th century and early 19th century houses out here. They excavated and they found that fish and seafood is actually a really big part of people's diets around here because we live right on the river.
Right. And maybe this spring I'll get out there and do some fishing and show you guys what that looks like.
Yeah, maybe.
I hate fishing, but I'll do it for y'all.
He hates fish.
I hate fish. I hate fishing. I do like riding or getting to drive the boat. That's my favorite part. Other than that, I don't
River
care.
rat. Well, I like seafood. It's actually one of my dreams to go to Alaska so that I can fish for salmon.
Those things are huge. They'll pull you in the... Oh, wait a minute. That's tuna.
Bye.
Never mind. I'm thinking of tuna. The salmon's normal size, right?
Oh, salmon? I mean, salmon can be this big.
Okay, it might pull you in. Hang on, dude.
Hang on, dude. Just tie a rope around my waist.
I have been deep sea fishing once, back in like 1996 on a family vacation in Florida.
Wow.
We went to Walt Disney World, and one day we went out on the ocean and did some deep sea fishing. I didn't catch anything though.
Pretty.
Look at that nastiness.
It's pretty.
Well, hey, just a refresher, there are some events coming up. So the big one that is coming up in May, the first weekend of May, is Pioneer Days.
Yeah, that's our event.
That's going to be our third annual this year. This will be the third year we've done it. There's going to be lots of demonstrations and people selling things. Anything from about 1750 to 1850. So if you want to see how pioneers lived on the frontier back then and such, this would be a great event to come to. You get to meet me and Justine. We will be demonstrating, but we will say hi and all that. Yes. But just remember, we are there to do a job. And you'll also see other people that have been on the show and people that haven't been on the show yet. And it'll be a real fun event. We're trying to get the horse and buggy guy back again so we can do carriage rides through town. And so we're working on that, and some new people. We're going to try to have a washer lady station. We're going to have a candle dipping station. Those are new things this year. In the past we've had the woodworking, the wool spinning, a guy that does, I'm trying to think, there's some weavers, there's blacksmith, there's a couple of tradesmen, peddler type people, that just means they sell knick-knack, paddywhack stuff. I'm trying to think what else there is.
And you can go to Candy's store.
Yeah, Candy's store.
It's in the yard of Candy's store. She has a really big yard in the back of her shop.
There'll be cooking demonstrations. There will be, I think I'm going to do the splitting logs, split rail fences, so we'll be splitting logs. There will also be a 1812 militia encampment set up to enlisting people, so if people want to enlist into the militia, that'd be cool. And I'm sure there'll be some more people that pop up in there. That's just all I can think of off the top of my head. Yep. So that's the first weekend of May. That's both days. It's a free event. Saturday and Sunday. It's called Pioneer Days in St. Genevieve.
Yep.
And that will be at Candy's store. In the back, she's got a big backyard. It's like a field, so that's where that will be. And
yeah, it's Ron and Candy's event.
Yep.
They both organize it.
But,
Candy is our good friend.
Yes. And let's see. In February, we got the King's Ball coming up here in about 2.5, 3 weeks. That is the first weekend of February on Saturday night. That will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The next event is St. Genevieve Militia Encampment event. That's also a free event.
That sounds cold.
It might be cold. But you get to see the guys drill and do exercises, maneuvers, and what camp life would have been like. And some guys make things, so they'll be selling them as well. And it's a good place to meet us and some other people you've seen on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it as far as events go that are coming up that we can talk about right now.
Yeah, if you want to come by and say hi to me, that'd be really nice.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet you.
Also, I'd like to gladly announce we wrote the last Christmas card, we think, yesterday.
Now, we had one that was lost in the mail.
Yes. Oh man, I can't remember where it was from.
It was from somewhere in America.
Oh, it was California.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a little girl named Maggie. I remember the card. She's 11-year-old from California.
It had brown tape on that side, right?
And I believe it was dated December 19th when it went through the postal thing, and we just got it.
Just got it
4 days ago,
Yeah.
on which would have been the 15th of January.
So it must have somehow gotten lost in the mail, but it made its way to us.
So once again, if you unfortunately did not receive your return letter, the mailman's to blame. We may not even got it to begin with, but we have no idea of knowing. But we have wrote every one of them back that we've got.
Yeah.
And we thank you very much for them. Next year, we won't advertise it, but if you want to send us one, we'll send you back, but I'm not going to announce it. Because that was crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That was crazy.
We wrote back over 350 cards.
Over 350 cards.
Yeah.
That was insane.
We really appreciate all of them, but wow, that was a lot of cards.
Yes. Also, a land house update. We have pretty much our final design, what we want to go with.
Yes.
We've got some quotes on some foundation work. We're still waiting to get the road in. It's been so wet with snow and rain and not being cold enough to just freeze it solid to where the big truck can get in there to dump our gravel. So we're still waiting on that. Once that happens, we're bam, bam, bam on a couple of these things that we've got ready to rock and roll on.
Yeah, so the gravel road has been holding back this project for months now.
Yeah, since October we've been trying to get gravel.
Yeah, since October. So until we can get the road complete, we can't have a well truck come in because those are really heavy trucks and it'll get stuck in the mud. And we can't have concrete truck and anything heavy really come. So our project is on hold until the road is done, but the problem is gravel trucks are also very heavy. So they're going to get stuck in the mud as they deliver the gravel unless the ground is either frozen and dry or it's just dry.
And we just got over an inch of rain yesterday. The fields look like lakes around here.
Swamp.
It's crazy.
It's a swamp around here right now. So unfortunately, it's going to be a bit longer.
And it's going to snow, I think later this week there's a chance of snow and more rain next weekend. And it's just
a money mess.
Yeah, it's a sloppy mess.
Yeah, this summer was super, super dry. And now it's payback time. It's raining constantly. But that is holding up this whole project is the road. Whoever knew that the road was the hardest part of a house to build?
Yeah.
It's just going to be a gravel road. But until we get that down, your truck will get stuck.
Right. And it's quite a long road. It's probably a quarter of a mile, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's going to take about 7, 8, 16-ton loads of gravel to cover it. And that's not even counting the field part. That's just through the woods, so it could be a little longer than that.
And didn't you... So a gravel truck did come and did deliver 2 loads.
Yeah.
Right? But then it almost got completely stuck, so it had to stop and go. So we have 2 loads.
So anyways, that's update on the homestead. That's happening, not happening yet. So
yeah, well, we found out that in our county we don't actually need building permits.
Yeah, so that's cool. You can do what you want. It's America. Your land, you do what you want.
It's funny.
That's the way it should be.
It's funny because one of our friends who's in the militia, when I told him where we're at, he said, "You don't need no building permits out there." He said, "You can put a a stove and a school bus and call it a house out there. And sure enough, I looked into it, and yeah, you don't need building permits outside of city limits in the county that we're at.
Yeah.
So we don't need building permits for a house or a barn, and there's no size requirement for building permit. Like, there's none required outside of city limits.
On that end of the county, you're out in the country, in the sticks as they call it, so
yeah.
Nobody really cares.
Yeah, nobody
Works for
really
us.
cares. I mean, obviously, once the house is built, a tax assessor will come on by, but...
Right. But anyways, moving on. What's been your thing to help you through your sickness here?
Okay, let me tell you guys about my disease.
Mickey, he's asleep.
Yeah, he's asleep.
Oh, come here.
It's okay, you can stay with me, I guess.
I want to hold you. Come on, kitty.
So anyway, the irony of all of this, the last video that we put out was a medicine video about apple water, a medicinal apple drink for the sick.
And it doesn't work.
Which, if I remember correctly, was also from the same cookbook as this, American Cookery 1823 edition. And I was not sick when I made that video. That night, maybe 3 in the morning, I woke up and I had a funny tingly feeling in my lungs when I breathed. And I just instinctively knew something was wrong. Next morning, I woke up and I was super, super sick. Flu symptoms. Really, really bad body ache, headache, pain behind my eyes, weakness really bad. My throat was really sore, and I had a hard time breathing. And so that was my life for 8 days. And then maybe after 5 days, my cold symptoms finally went away. And I was left with breathing problems. Like, I couldn't even talk. I'm not going to tell you, I couldn't even talk.
Yeah, this is 100% improvement.
This is 100% improvement. And I couldn't sleep because I was coughing so much I could not sleep. And, oh my gosh, not to be dramatic, but there was one night I didn't think I was going to survive. I didn't think I was going to make it. And I've had many a flu in my life. And I've never felt like that before. I've had COVID before, and I never thought that I wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, I had that. Oh, I lost my taste and had the sniffles.
Yeah. But this time, it was such a bad flu. Really, really bad. I mean, the body ache, I felt like I had been put in the freezer, taken out, and I was defrosting. Like, my body was just melting and... But the way that I got over my flu symptoms after the first 5 days is I had a lot of elderberry syrup. A lot. I don't know if I would have made it without my elderberry. I mean, I really don't know how it would have turned out. So I am obsessed with elderberry. Ron knows this. This is my favorite jelly, elderberry jelly. We got this from the Mennonite store.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Mennonite market like 10, 15 minutes from our land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they moved from Kentucky.
They have 1,000 acres, and they have this seasonal market that's only open from spring until fall. They end with Halloween because they sell pumpkins and that's it. But they sell this jelly. There's no brand name, but because they just make it. But it's elderberry jelly.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. Have it on your bread, and there isn't much left.
Yeah.
I've been eating it every single day. And I've also been taking the syrup. So the brand don't really matter what syrup you use. And obviously when it comes to medical stuff, everyone's different. If your doctor tells you to do something else, don't listen to me. But this is Mary Ruth's brand, elderberry syrup. And this is probably the reason why I'm still alive. It's organic. And I'll show you what it looks like.
And Candy sells elderberry syrup too. I think it's on her website.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah, but you live far, far away from there, so
yeah.
When you're sick, it's not an option to go get it.
It's not. So it's just a liquid like so. And it tastes like fruit. It doesn't taste offensive. They added blueberry flavoring to it to help. And you just put it in your mouth.
It's like squiddy.
You swallow it. And if you're sick, you take more than if you're just taking it every day as a preventative. So I was taking a lot.
What's it got, like antioxidants in it or something that are good for you?
Yeah, elderberry has a lot of antioxidants in it, and it's actually a very old cure. It's period correct.
Oh, nice.
The Native Americans used it for medicinal reasons, but there is American elderberry, and then there's European elderberry.
American's better.
Of course. And
for obvious reasons.
So the Native Americans use elderberry for medicinal purposes, but also the Europeans used it for medicinal purposes. Even the ancient Greeks used elderberries for healing when they were sick. And in the 18th century, sometimes they would even use it on their skin. They thought it would make you pretty.
Wow, you look very purple today.
You look mighty purple today. Which is usually a sign of death, but...
Yeah. Maybe they use it as extra blush.
No,
really red.
It was like a skincare product. You rub it in, I guess, and wash it off,
You look
maybe.
bruised.
I don't know, Ron. You know what women will do for beauty.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Yes.
And you got a bush back here, too.
I was about to show them.
You ain't got no leaves on it yet.
Yes. That's really heavy.
There it is.
This is my elderberry bush. We have 2 of them. This is American elderberry. It's winter. It's January right now when we're filming this. So this is dormant.
It's
obviously.
hard to see. There is a little green thing right there.
It looks like 2 sticks, but I promise
and
you,
one right there.
This is an elderberry bush. It's just a young one. And we have 2 of them. I'm probably going to end up getting 2 more someday. And you can make your own elderberry syrup at home. Just do not cook the leaves or the branches because it's toxic. But the berries, if you cook them, don't eat it raw, but if you cook it, it's very healthy for you. There have been many studies. It's not just an old wives' tale. There are science-backed studies that say that elderberry syrup reduces the duration of a cold, and it prevents your chance of getting flu-like symptoms. So my mistake is I started taking the elderberry syrup when I became sick. I'm going to start taking it every single day as a preventative.
Oh, well, hello there.
I'm going to take just 1 vial of it every day, like 1 dropper full, and hopefully I won't get sick, at least for a long time.
Let's put him up in his favorite spot.
Yeah, he's a parrot.
He likes sitting up here like a parrot. Hey there, my kitty.
Hey there, kitty.
Where'd you go? Hey. Come forward.
So thank you guys for your well wishes. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And your patience with us. We had to put our cooking video out a couple days later than usual because we usually put them out on Wednesdays. Although that's subject to change. Honestly, sometimes we don't. But usually we do on Wednesdays. But on Wednesday, my lungs were still really bad. I couldn't talk. So it wouldn't have been a very enjoyable chew-chat.
What is it, buddy?
Someone sent him cat toys.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
A couple people sent cat toys, actually.
And a couple people sent cat treats.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much.
He loves them.
He really loves them.
And he is filled out. He doesn't need to eat any more than what he's been eating.
He's gained weight really fast.
He's also grown in size, so I think the nutrition has just helped him grow better. Because when we got him, you guys remember we said he was skin and bones.
Yeah, he gained weight fast. Now he looks more like a male.
Yeah. Jungle kitty. Just see him, he just right up a tree. It's crazy.
Spider-Man.
Or he ends up on top of the cabin, and he's
Top
like,
of the roof.
"No, get me down."
Mm-hmm.
But he can get down on his own. All right, so
Elderberry jam.
you guys remember we had a new segment called This Day in History here on Frontier Patriot. Well, we realized there's a lot of cool things that happen other than just one day, so we've turned it into This Week in History.
This week in American history.
American history sprinkled in with some other stuff. Because not everybody that watches this is from America, so I'll throw every now and then I'll throw you a bone.
Yeah, I'll throw you a bone.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for the butt. Right in the face. You want down, buddy? Want your chair? I'll be your chair.
There you go.
Good boy. Alright. So, the first one for this week in history is, it happened on January 17th, 1706. It's Ben Franklin's birthday.
Oh. So,
this week he turned 317 years old. That's pretty old.
He looks great for his age.
Alright, let's see. The next one I got up, and there are obviously hundreds of things that's happened, so we tried to pick out the most coolest ones.
The most interesting.
Yeah, the most interesting ones. So the next interesting one I have is January 18th. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson asked Congress for $2,500 to explore the West. This is for the expedition of Lewis and Clark. And this was secret, by the way.
Yeah.
He secretly wrote to Congress and asked them for funding for that. Because we did not own that territory over there. That was still Spanish territory beyond the Louisiana territory.
Some members of the Spanish army were even sent after Lewis and Clark to capture them when they found out that they had left to start their journey.
You know, speaking of the Lewis...
But they couldn't find them.
Speaking of Lewis and Clark... Oh, shoot, what's the name of it? It's a Lewis and Clark parody movie, and it's hilarious. It's got Tommy Boy in it. Or not Tommy Boy, Chris Farley. Everybody knows him by Tommy Boy, but Chris Farley. It's,
He's just gonna insert him.
What was the name of that?
I don't know. Probably watched it.
Almost Heroes or something like that. But it's hilarious.
That's a good movie.
Alright, so number 3.
The Eagle.
Oh yeah, when he's getting the eagle's eggs for breakfast and the eagle comes back. No! Ah!
Watch it, it's good.
It's hilarious. Alright, so our next one I have is from 1821. January 17th, Moses Austin, who is from St. Genevieve, gets a land grant from Mexico to start a colony in Texas.
He's called the father of Texas.
Yeah.
His house is still in St. Genevieve, a house that he lived at for a while.
Yes.
It's really run down. Somebody please rescue that house.
There's even it's in the park called Moses Austin Park.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Jerry Fett happens. That's where the militia does some stuff sometimes. It's where we have parking for Pioneer Days.
Yeah.
All right. So, moving on. On January 14th, in 1784, Congress ratifies the final peace treaty between Great Britain and the United States, officially ending the Revolutionary War.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Alright, the next one I got is January 15th, 1776. Thomas Paine, the English writer, publishes his pamphlet called Common Sense.
Which a lot of people don't have.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have. And I've read it, it's very intellectual, but I listened to it on the audio, so it was read to me, and I understood it, and it makes sense, and even applies to some situations
what is
today.
It about?
Just change the words from monarch to other words, but anyways.
It's a political commentary book.
About what's happening,
Okay.
The English suppression of the American colonists. But anyways, that's a really neat book to get. And it was a big deal. I think it sold like 100,000 copies within the first month or something like that. It was very popular. And they were searching for him because, you know, back then you don't have freedom of speech before the Constitution. So they were coming after you. Anyways, moving on. The next one I've got, it's going to be our last one. This is for anybody that lives in Hawaii. Now this one is, today it would be American history. Back then it was British history. But anyways, if you live in Hawaii, congratulations. January 18, 1778, Captain James Cook discovers the Sandwich Islands, aka known as the Hawaiian Islands, as we know them today.
Yeah. I mean, he was the first...
The first European to discover them.
The first European. There were natives living there.
Right. And that guy, I looked him up, is pretty cool. He went to Australia. He discovered Australia. He discovered New Zealand. He discovered Hawaii. He went to Antarctica.
Sandwich Islands. That's what Hawaii used to be called. Sandwich Islands.
So that guy.
Are they sandwiched between two countries, or why are they called?
I have no idea.
Someone out there knows.
Yeah. Maybe it's what they say, but
Earl of Sandwich.
It doesn't mean the same thing we think it means. Maybe.
Maybe.
But I thought those were interesting ones. So.
Yeah.
So this is a keeper, right?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, yeah, guys, I mean, seriously, if you like shrimp, if you like seafood, I'm genuinely surprised and borderline shocked at how edible that is.
I'm so
It's a 200-year-old recipe, exactly 200 years now, 1823. Come on, Tron, try it.
No.
Try a little bite.
I'm eating this delicious elderberry. No. I'll get sick.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will. I'll want to throw up. The only time I ate shrimp in my life, I blew chunks everywhere that evening. It was, I think it was New Year's, 1998.
This is very good, Ron.
I don't care.
It's very good.
Oh, good. You eat it then. You need your health.
Ron does not eat seafood. He is not a seafood guy.
No way.
Pretty please.
If it don't breathe air and have fur on it or feathers, I don't eat it. If it's got skin or scales, you can't say leads because things have leads in the sea.
If it don't breathe air, I don't eat it.
If it ain't warm-blooded, I don't want it. How about that? No, get out of here. Get. Phew.
Please.
No.
Please.
Okay, fine. There.
Oh, come on, you can't fool me.
It's gone.
No, it's not.
Where's the cat?
Not even the cat wants to eat it.
Where did he go, by the way? Hey, get that on my face. Well, hey, we're going to hop off here, everybody. Oh, by the way, we'll leave you with this cliffhanger. Justine has got her wedding dress picked out and is having a lady make it from France.
Yeah.
And Ron is going to be making his own jacket. So we'll just leave it at that. So,
yeah, okay, wedding.
Cliffhanger.
Well, I mean, let me just say out there, we don't know the wedding date yet.
Oh, yeah. We'll know that once we start hammering nails on the house.
The gravel has really just held up everything. So we'll know when the wedding date is once we have a rough idea when the house will be completed because we want to get married and move in right away.
Right.
We're old-fashioned if you hadn't noticed.
Yes, obviously. Very old-fashioned.
Quite old-fashioned people. And so it's a smart idea to order your wedding dress ahead of time. And so I ordered my wedding dress. It's custom made. And it's actually a copy of an actual 18th century dress.
Well, yeah. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We love you guys. Really appreciate your support and all that. And we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday.
Yes, we'll hopefully be back to our normal schedule next week.
Yes, so everybody have a good Saturday night.
Yes.
Or if you're
whenever
ahead
you're
of
watching
us,
this.
Sunday morning, wherever.
Whenever you're watching this, thank you for joining us. And do try this if you like seafood. It's actually really easy to make. It doesn't have a lot of ingredients. Don't listen to Ron. It's really good. I liked it. You just don't eat seafood.
Nope. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Yep. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.